Welcome back to the vlog. This is number 12. I buy into the WSOP ring event. It's $250 for the entry. We drove from Texas all the way to Oklahoma, and it's the last day of the event. So it's my last opportunity to win a ring, and we run deep. We have around 20K in chips, and around the first 3 levels, we're card dead. So on this new table, we have pocket kings. We raise it up and get 3 callers. It's a queen high board, and this old lady in the big blind who called leads into us. We ended up jamming and she folds, but that pot was massive. And that really helped us spiral upward. A couple levels later and a couple small pots, our stack has grown and we're going to visit Gil on the cash table. He sends us a picture of a crazy hand that went down. We're on our 3rd table now. We're on level 8 or 9. We have ace 5 of spades and we raise it up. We get called by the button and it comes a queen high board with a spade draw. We bet and the shorty jams for 150. We call for the spade draw. And we end up banking it on the river, taking out another opponent. Then we have another scenario where we have a blind versus blind situation. I shove ace queen and we're against ace 10 and we take out that stack. And now we're down to the wire, the final 2 tables, 16 opponents left. We made a couple bad hero calls and lost a couple 3-bet pots. So that's why our stack has diminished a little bit. Now we're gonna hop into some hands that happened on the final 2 tables.
One of the most pivotal hands of this WSOP run, we have pocket 5s in the big blind. The button raises and we just call. The flop becomes ace, deuce, 5. We drill a set. And the action goes like this. It goes check, check. The turn is a deuce, check, check again. The river is the deuce of spades. We now have 5s full of deuces. Now it's our turn to take the betting lead. We're going to bet 15,000, and to our surprise, our opponent raises to 45,000, and now we can put him on an ace. There's only 2 hands that beat us. That's pocket aces and the last deuce remaining in the deck, and I doubt he has either, especially with how slow he played this hand. And now it's time to do something that essentially would only be the nuts. We're going to 3-bet to 125,000 chips. We've committed 1/3 of our entire stack here at the WSOP ring event. A couple people away from the final table, and our opponent puts in the call, and we end up winning, showing our 5s full of deuces versus another ace holding, and he mucks. What a dream spot. The crazy thing about the final table experience is that every move, every decision you make, every time you put chips in the middle, it feels like you're going all in and your heart's constantly racing. No wonder why people love tournaments. In this next hand, we look down at pocket jacks on the button, we raise, and the small stack decides to rip it all in. We're up against ace, queen. Can we hold? The flop comes ace, jack, king. We drill a set. The turn is a 6 and the river is the 4. We hold and win over 60,000 in chips. Even these small flips like this feel like life or death situations, and we're on to the most insane hand I've ever experienced in a tournament. I hope you have your seatbelts on. We're in the small blind with jacks again. We have 600,000 chips behind. Your early position raises to 25K and there's 2 callers, and then I decide to 3-bet to 110,000. Back to the original raiser. He decides to fold. One of the limpers decides to fold as well, and now it's back to the button, and he decides to put in the chips. 260,000 chips are in the middle, and the flop comes 9, 7, 3, 2 clubs. We're going to c-bet here for 100K, and our opponent decides to jam. And this is not a small jam. He put 550,000 of his chips in the center. That is more than a 5x raise to our c-bet. And this is when we go into the longest tank I've ever had at a table during a tournament. My mind instantly crosses off aces, kings, and queens. He could have 9s, 7s, or 3s for a set, but I think that's unlikely. Maybe he's on an ace-high flush draw. My gut is telling me this is more of a bluff than anything. Maybe our opponent's putting us on ace-king. We've been on the table for a couple hours. We've seen this guy show down. Normally he raises aces and he calls pairs, so maybe he has 8s or maybe he has 6s and he's just thinking we're spazzing out. Let's say we put in the call and we're wrong. We're only going to have 2 big blinds left, and our deep run is going to fall very short to our goal, which is getting this WSOP ring. Either I'm not good enough to press the full button, or this guy's just going wild, and that's what I think it is. So we put in the chips, and he flips over a hand I could not believe. He has pocket deuces. What in the hell just happened? We hold, and we just doubled up, and we have the first million chip stack of our entire life. Holy shit. Don't forget to subscribe to join my poker journey. And we are now on to day 2. We've made the final table and we get our first ever bag for a WSOP tournament. We take a selfie, send it to my friends and family. We're happy. We're excited to move forward and crush today. We did a nice meditation session before and are prepped and ready. And Gil's by my side supporting me. Can't feel any better in this situation. Truly excited to be sitting at the seat. We're at level 24. First place is 10,000 $4,000. We're sitting down with roughly 1.5 million chips, and we're on to our first session at a final table WSOP ring. Can we take it down? Gil's taking pictures of me like a proud dad, and he sure feels like my dad right now. First hand, we end up drilling top pair on the river and call a small bet, but we get outkicked by ace 9. No big deal, wasn't the biggest pot, but it sure feels like it every time. In this next hand, we get it all in versus a small stack with queen 10 of clubs. He has king 8 offsuit. Can we hold? In the window, we see a queen. What a relieving feeling that is, and we drill top 2 pair on the river and take out a short stack. We're now officially three-handed, and we're over 2 million in chips. We cover the table, we're the leader, and we've officially locked up $4,000. Oh my gosh. If we were to lose right now, this would be our biggest cash ever in poker. So we're feeling so happy and proud of ourselves to get this far, just being an amateur poker player, trying to do his best. Every little pot means so much from here on out. We have the ace of clubs and the 9 of clubs. We drill top pair and take down a small one, but it feels massive. And then a very interesting hand happens. I have ace deuce the small blind. The big blind only has around 8 bigs, so we're going to rip it all in, but he snap calls with ace queen. Uh-oh, we need a lot of help. The flop helps both of our hands. Queen, deuce, 10. The turn is the 5, and the river is unbelievable. It's the deuce of clubs. My opponent literally leaped out of his seat and could not believe that river. We take him down, and now we're officially heads up for a WSOP ring and $10,000 on the top, which would be triple my biggest cash out ever in any poker tournament or cash game. It's level 26, 30,000, 60,000, 60,000. We have over 3 million chips. It's heads up, and we have nearly double our opponent's chips. We are looking great. This is my favorite part of this entire experience, seeing the WSOP ring to my left. Even my opponent decides to fold and get a nice shot of it. I can tell this is a special moment for both of us. And here comes the biggest hand of this entire vlog. I do not remember what I had, but I know that I had a pair of jacks. The board is ace, jack, 4, ace, queen. We put out a small bet and our opponent raises us, and we decide to put in the hero call after a long tank, not thinking he has an ace. Sometimes he'll have a queen, and we are wrong. He has ace 7 for trip aces, and we lose a massive pot. I believe this is a $1.5 million pot. Oh my lord, this is like, feel like the biggest hand of my entire career. I definitely want to experience more uncomfortable spots like these and try to play them better. I don't think I played it best. I could find a fold here, especially with third pair when that queen hits the river. But the only way you can learn sometimes is the hard way, and that's why I love poker. After this big loss, another one happened, and another one happened, and now we're on fumes. We have 750K, which is nearly 10 big blinds. Another big pivotal moment of the tournament run. Our opponent jams into us. We look down at ace 8 offsuit, and we're going to put in the call here, and he turns over something I could not believe. Queen, deuce offsuit. Our tournament life is now at stake, and we need to hold. We hold and double up, and we're now at 1.5 million chips. We're battling back. We're in a 3-bet pot. The flop comes 7, ace, king, all diamonds. I don't remember what I'm holding here. I believe I had a single diamond holding, like king, queen, offsuit. We put in the rip, and he snap folds, but just every pot means so much right now because we want the ring so much more than anything else. And this leads us to the final hand. About 4 hours into the session, we look down at king, 10 offsuit. I think this hand can be a decent candidate to call off with. After the queen deuce rip, I think he can be very light. He's been ripping it all in with random hands, and this is one of the best hands we're going to see, especially heads up. And the levels are increasing fast, and we can't risk losing our entire stack by just folding. So we put in the chips. But we get some bad news. He has ace 4 offsuit. The flop comes 3, 3, 7. This is not looking good. The turn is the 3 of spades, and the river is the 6 of clubs, and we get taken out, and we are absolutely crushed. We wanted this ring more than anything on planet Earth, and we were so close to getting it, but this just makes you more hungry for the next one. Also, congrats to my opponent. I chatted with him after this. He hasn't played poker in a long time, and he's going back to his family with a WSOP ring, and that sort of warmed my heart. We get second place, and we get paid $6,628, and we tip the dealers $20, and we call it a night. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Funky Punts. See you later.